Yo everyone, a whole slew of info has come out for SCP-SL's future, and even a little bit of its past. I'm gonna cover it all within this one video, so I hope you enjoy. To kick things off, we begin with the March Patreon post, which covers the reinforcement, aka respawning overhaul, as well as a brand new mechanic for the SCPs, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's see what the reinforcement overhaul is all about. A simple but big change is the Chaos Insurgency will now fully count towards the SCP target list. This means that there's no way SCPs and Chaos can win together anymore. The next change is pretty nice. Now spawn waves will prioritize the respawning of players who have been dead the longest, and after that, the respawning of players who were previously allied with the spawn wave. For example, Scientist will have a higher chance of spawning as MTF than a Class D would. Of course, if you die late and you were on the opposing team, you still have a chance of spawning in, just a lower one than others. There's a new system for spawn waves called mini waves. As you can probably expect by the name, this is a wave consisting of fewer members and being led by the medium ranking soldier on each team. So only one sergeant and no captain for MTF, one marauder and no repressor for Chaos. This wave only spawns once per team, and the amount of people in the wave is calculated by the amount of players in the server divided by 5. So if there's 30 people, the wave would consist of 6 people. The mini wave is earned by the full wave, earning 10 points for their team, but there is a delay on when this mini wave can come in, being 2 minutes and 30 seconds after the full wave spawns. The timer is shortened by 5 seconds for every person who dies in the full wave though, this only working until the timer is at 1 minute and 30 seconds, any deaths after that will not count. Both mini-waves will have different spawn locations. MTF spawn at the end of the escape tunnel, and Chaos spawn near the gate that the CI van comes in at. And as a final note, there is plans to have a special announcement play for the mini-waves. I do hope I get to hear my beloved Cassie say something other than
Mobile Task Force Unit.
Of course, with this overhaul, the full spawn waves have had some changes as well. Both teams will now have separate spawn timers starting at 5 minutes. When a respawn occurs, the spawn timer will reset to 5 minutes for both teams. However, each player that is spawned on a team will increase their spawn timer by an additional 10 seconds. It should also be mentioned that mini-waves increase the respective team's full wave timer by 1 minute. Both teams will have the chance to fully spawn in once. After that, they must complete objectives for their team to earn points that are used in a general pool of respawns. The first spawn wave costs 30 points, the second 50 points, and the third 70 points. This means that at most 5 spawn waves will occur over a game. If a team has no more respawns, their timer will be frozen until they gain enough points to get that respawn. Now, what exactly are these objectives, you may or may not be asking while you eat that big bag of chips? And no, they're not called crisps. Well, there's quite a few, and to be honest, I don't really want to read every single one of them, so here's a handy dandy screenshot. If you're wondering why some things are blue, that's because this was originally tested in a pairs, and this is the updated list, so some things change between then. Moving right along, we have Dead Man's Switch. Dead Man's Switch is essentially an auto nuke that activates once all teams run out of respawn waves and no respawn waves are earned for 4 minutes. If a new wave is earned, then the timer will be paused. Once Dead Man's Switch is activated, Cassie will give a special announcement. After this, the regular 90-second countdown will begin for the nuke, and it'll be unable to be disabled, requiring everyone to go to the surface. Speaking of Dead Man's Switch, the spectator UI is going to be getting some changes, which includes this cool-ass timer for the Dead Man's Switch counting down. More importantly though, you now actually have the choice to see the progress of respawns, such as the remaining time, the amount of points and waves each team has earned, and you even get a live feed at the bottom of your screen showing things affecting the game. Right, now we can finally talk about the new mechanic for SCPs, which is called Instability. Instability is a progression-based system that, as you cause more carnage, will make you and your team stronger. Instability has 4 stages, each one being worth 250 instability points, meaning that to reach maximum instability, you would need 1,000 total points. Points can be earned in a variety of ways, like killing humans, 079 leveling up, 049 resurrecting a zombie, and 106 capturing humans. On top of that, some special occasions can net you even more points, like performing a skill shot, essentially being a way to reward you by using certain abilities like 049's Good Sense or SCP-939's Amnestic Cloud. There's also a multiplier if you and your SCP pals get a lot of kills in a short amount of time. This is aptly called Massacre. Each kill within 5 seconds of each other will give a 10% bonus to Massacre points. With so many ways to earn points, it only makes sense that there's a few ways to lose points as well. 100 points will be deducted for an SCP being killed, 10 points will be deducted per civilian entering entrance zone for the first time, 20 points will be deducted for each civilian that escapes, and 50 points will be deducted for each generator activated, that last one only occurring if 079 is actually in the game. It should be heavily stated though that instability can't go down a level, you'll only get sent back to the minimum for that level, so 250 points, 500 points, etc. A pretty cool feature regarding instability is the point gain and loss will actually scale based on the amount of people in the game. You can see the chart on how that works here. Alright, I've spent 2 paragraphs explaining the points, but what about the actual abilities you get for leveling up instability? At stage 1, all SCPs, excluding 079, will see the outline of all moving players for 5 seconds. At stage 2, all SCPs will get an additional 15% to their max Hume shield, and 079 will receive 50 XP. At stage 3, both MTF and Chaos will have their respawn tokens lowered by 10. At stage 4, all spawn waves, normal and mini, will be paused permanently, eventually triggering the dead man switch. At stage 4, 079 can actually survive the nuke as well, and
I have no doors and
watch, I guess. As a little bonus, for reaching stages 1 through 3 of instability, each stage will heal every SCP by 10%, and 079 will gain 10 more AP on top of his normal AP maximum. Finally, there was some more images of the new heavy containment zone that was shared, that is being shown on screen now. Okay, let's get into the next post, which is a different type of post called Memorandums. Memorandums are posts that will pop up when there's times of no presentable content to show off from Northwood. These posts will instead show off lost, cut, or scrapped content ranging from years ago to just a couple of months. Let's get into it. We begin with SCP-173 and its many redesigned concepts. The current model used is named the Matthew or Walnut design, while these remain nameless. Next up, we have Jackie's little cousin, the Jack-o'-lantern grenade. This was fully made, but didn't actually make it into the Halloween event. Hopefully this year we can see this little guy make it in though. If you have a fear of needles, I would recommend skipping to the time on screen now. This is a render of the old adrenaline that was used prior to the Parabellum update, and man is it nostalgic. Weird how we never saw the cap for it in game. We also have mugs that were made for the Christmas event. I don't believe these made it into the game, but feel free to correct me in the comments. Here's some concepts of an MTF laser rifle and some grenades that date way back to when there were laser guns commonly used in the game. Finally, there's some alternative photos that could have been used in the newspaper clippings related to SCP-939. Take a look. On top of those posts, we also got some teasers that went public. This first one shows us some progress that's been made regarding the badge rework shown off a while back. The second one shows us some color-coded outlines of the new human models, but that doesn't really matter because the new human models have been shown off in these brand new Steam avatars, perk of being late on news I guess, and the third one shows us some of the first-person animations for the new Micro. And there we have it. That's all the news that's released since my last video. Now if you excuse me, I'm gonna go pass out. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.